Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. Terrific Tuesday, I think it is. Today I wanted to talk about how about those tariffs? If you go back a month ago, my Daily Nuggets, I put a whole thing in here. It's not the end of the world. The world is not collapsing, and I don't want to make this like a victory parade because in 2 days the market could go down because uh, something for whatever reason about tariffs and this, that, and the other thing. But you can't live your life based on the news. Matter of fact, most of the news you can't do anything about. So wasting your energy, you know, it's just a whole depressing thing. Like I actually stopped. I was really into politics and watching the news and all this other stuff prior to COVID. Then COVID, they just started, pounding you with negative, 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 negative information. I just stopped watching it. Then, you could go into like I always knew that it was skewed one way and I never really I know like I lean a certain way, and I always catch myself like, yeah, I like to listen to what people say that I like, but I need to listen to the opposite. So I would watch like, let's say I would watch Fox and then I would watch MSNBC to see the argument against Fox, and then I would watch CNN when they were kind of in the middle. Now they're more like MSNBC. But anyway, my point is all of it's negative and you can't do anything about it anyway. So don't waste your energy on that. And my point about the tariffs is, the whole world was ending. The biggest stock loss ever in like, a presidency in the first 90 days and like, all because like let things work. I said, if you go back, I said I thought that these were going to be great. And I'm going to tell you, we are nowhere near the end. This can be up and down and up and down and up and down. The biggest mistake I made in the last month was when it was down, I bought, but I was hopeful it went down more and I would have bought more, but it didn't go down more. And so I didn't get to invest some of the money that I wanted to invest. But I do think we'll have opportunities in the future. The point here is the world's not ending. And I posted something on my Instagram that I saw the other day, which is like 85%. I don't know where they come up with that number, but 85% of the things that you worry about don't happen. I can tell you, I think it's like 99%. And I remember my first vivid memory of this was I have very different parts in my life where this is very important. When I was a kid, I wasn't like the best of teenagers. But my mom, she's like, oh, he's going to do it to my father. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. Oh my God, we can't. What about this? But my dad was like, listen, I'm not wasting my energy. When he doesn't, I'll deal with it. But I'm not going to sit here and, tell him he can't do that because he might do this. And I'm not going to worry about it until he does it. And sometimes I did do it. And then, trust me, my dad worried about it. But my point was, my dad, you know, he wasn't going to waste his energy, and my mom was just torturing herself about all the things that I could do wrong or would do wrong, et cetera, et cetera. So don't catch yourself like that. Like your mind is so creative. It can think of the most creative, worst things that could happen in every situation. I mean, it's amazing, but most of it is not true. Actually, it's not. I almost guarantee you, if you sat here about the biggest thing that you are worrying about, and you really shouldn't worry, and the reason I'm telling you, let's say the biggest thing you're worrying about, and you thought it through 100 different variations, I almost guarantee you that none of those 100 variations will come true. None of them. It might be some other variation, but it isn't going to be any of those 100. So to sit here and stir and think about it is a complete waste. And your mind cannot tell the difference of actually going through a traumatic situation or thinking about a traumatic situation. So don't torture yourself. There's another line that I heard that made me think about my father when I got older, which was like, I'd rather die uh, uh, you know, I'd rather die of like one strike from a sword than 1,000 little cuts. And that's what people are doing every day. They're dying of little cuts, little worries, another little worry, another little worry, another little worry. And you know what? Nobody may ever come with the sword and kill you. Um, so, um, what I think is, and there was another expression that, I worried about, hundreds of things in my life. I have to look it up, and none of them came true. So my point today is it was just tariffs last month. I got to start last night, like watching how, there's a 90-day pause. So really nothing happened. There's a 90-day pause and everybody's like elated, right? But I told you a month ago, it wasn't the end of the world. And I'm telling you right now that it will probably go down again because there'll be some dramatic change in something. It could even. And you can't live your life based on that. You can't invest your money based on that. What you should do is take the fear out of your investing and go, wow, is this company a good company? You know, should I invest in the company? Is this a property, a good property? Should I invest in the property? And don't take these outside factors and go, should I buy now? Should I buy later? I can tell you, nobody can time anything perfectly, but where I've made my best investments is market tanks. Everybody's running scared. That's when I'm telling you, people have said that when I was younger. I was afraid to do it. And as I gotten older, I've seen it work, 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 work again. So when it's all red and the whole world's ending, when it's never ending. So, that's the point. That's when I'm investing. So hope that helps you guys. Have a great Tuesday. I'll talk to you tomorrow if I can find this end here. Thanks, guys.